like, I got that sense where it's like, okay, so I feel like they're gonna kill off a hero now. You know? Hey everybody, it's me, George here. And guys, we're at the end, the finale of My Hero Academia. And so I figured, you know what, let me sketch out some of my favorite scenes from the series so far. And so here we are. And it's funny because, you know, firstly, we just have the snapshot of Ochako, and I don't know what scene it's from. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I love this shot of her, and I was like, I would just draw best girl, you know. And so, as you can see, she's the thumbnail, and she's my favorite character, my favorite girl character from this show. And I just love the dynamic of her and Deku. You know, they're very cutesy in their romance in a sense, you know. There's always cute scenes with them. And so, yeah, we just have Ochako here. And there's also, too, you know, the dynamic shots of the show as well. You know, I loved the second season with Stain's introduction, you know, where he was portrayed as such a threatening character, you know, and seeing that he didn't 100% agree with Shigaraki's plan. You know, he was a vigilante, so that was a good fundamental opposition towards the villain, you know, because he's not actually evil, but he just has a disagreement with the fake heroes, you know, and all that. So it was really nice to see it from that standpoint, you know. And so his introduction and his character arc was very nice. I loved it. And so, you know, when they did the bit of the 180 where they told the story from the villain's perspective, it was like, oh, okay, you know, it added a nice change of things, you know, because it gave opportunity to see it from the villain's perspective, and as well as to give character to the villains, you know, because it adds dynamic to them, you know. It doesn't make them so much bland, you know. And so it's really it was really nice to see that, and I just overall loved it, you know. Where Toga used Ochako's ability to basically make people fall to their deaths, you know. And so that was like the first nightmare that came to my mind when I first learned of Ochako's quirk. It was like, oh god, you know, because it's like, you know, it's all cutesy with her, but then it's like, when you think of the dark side of her ability, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, and you see it come to fruition with Toga, with what she did, you know. And so that was a pleasant change of things, you know. And so, you know, again with Shigaraki, they did great job with his portrayal and his growth, you know. And so I feel like with him there's a misunderstanding, you know, because he's reaping the consequences of his grandmother, you know, because she gave up her son, and her son came to hate heroes, you know, and took that out on Shigaraki as well as the family. And, you know, him having no choice of his quirk, you know, his decay quirk that basically kills things and destroys them, you know. And so the scene where he unintentionally kills all his family, it was like, oh wow, and so there's also a fun Easter egg too with this scene where he changes his voice. It turns out that he's the voice actor for Trunks, and so it was like, what? I can't believe it. It's been under my nose this whole time, because I noticed that trend where it's like, Endeavor is Jiren and All Might is Vegeta, and yeah, it's nice. And so with Dabi's introduction here, that was great too. It's like they portrayed it as like Toya being dead this whole time, and no, it was Dabi all along. And like, maybe I'm the only one here, but I was not seeing that coming at all. It's like him having a fire quirk as well was like, oh, okay, because other characters have a bit of a fire quirk as well. It's wasn't all that spot on, but it was like when they had that scene with after he killed Twice, after Twice's death, and she told the secret, suppose, and the things went dark. I was like, okay, wait a minute, and so yeah, that was great. And now we're gonna be transitioning into a talk with Midnight, and her introduction as a character, and so as always, this pose was dynamic and great in more ways than one, but yeah, it's like her character is very fun, and it added a soft spot with me in the series, because she's a fun character, and her expressions are always very cute and funny. And so to me, it's like she was the one that brought love to this show, and of course, as I said, Ochako is best girl, but at the same time, it's like, Midnight, she's the love of it, because there isn't a scene with her that sucks, and so it's also funny too, going back to the voice actors, she's the same voice actress as Albedo from Overlord, and that too had a good sense of depth too, because I love Overlord. It's a great series, and I do recommend it if you haven't watched it already. But anyway, there's no way of avoiding it, and talking about her death, and it was like, oh no, and so it was really sad. Because again, I felt like there's a great deal of intention with how much love was put into her, because it adds a great layer of impact to her death. And so during that whole paranormal liberation arc, with Twice's death, again, it was like, I got that sense where it's like, okay, so I feel like they're gonna kill off a hero now, because twice he was like a supporting character, or like, you know, he wasn't a bland character, in a sense, you know, because they gave him a story arc, you know, and so of course it's like now they've got to kill off a hero too, you know, and so when they were basically when Shigaraki woke up, heroes were dropping like flies, you know, and so I was hoping that it would be just that, you know, and so they wouldn't have to kill off a beloved character, a beloved hero, you know, and least of all Midnight, you know, like out of all the characters, you know, like Hawks and Genus, although I think Genus was still presumed dead at this point, so there's that. But it's like, oh no, you know, like I wasn't seeing it coming where they would kill off Midnight, you know, because it's like they like add special scenes of the character before they kill them off. At least that's like the common trope, you know. So when they you know, it was like leading up to that, I was like, oh no, you know, where she was, you know, badly injured, like here, you know, and I don't want to change the subject too much, but of course I did feel like Midnight at this point when drawing them, you know, because these did take me 5 hours to draw, and so yeah, but we did it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the finale. Please do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed these sketches as well as the video. You know, around here we have fun with doing drawing and all that jazz. So yeah, get involved. All that. I'll see you later. Bye bye.